Hello, everyone. Welcome to another show. I can't even get my words out. Darian talks UTSA. UTSA just fell and lost to East Carolina 30-20. Um, I'm really upset at this game. I know I just went live. I'm gonna try to let some of the folks roll into the stream before I really get into it. Let me know what you guys think about the game and share your thoughts and comments and questions and stuff in the chat. I'll get to as many as I can today, and we go from there. Um, that was embarrassing. There's no real good way to say, there's no other good way to say that. That was embarrassing. That was just an awful performance by UTSA. Um, and our offense, you know what? I'm not even going to say that. I'm not going to say that in totality. Our defense came to play. Our defense, yeah, they weren't perfect. Our secondary definitely got exposed a little bit. But to be fair, Zay Frazier showed up, and Zay Frazier made plays. He gave us an opportunity. He gave us the ball with great field position. In at the game, and then we go 3 and out, right? We go 3 and out. What was it? 3 times in a row. Owen McCown. Now, to be fair, William McCoy dropped 3 at the end of the game. He dropped 3 passes in a row. If I'm not mistaken, Owen McCown was 3. He completed 3 of his last 17 passes, or 16 or 17 passes. He didn't give us an opportunity to win a game. That's the part that is most disappointing. Our offensive coordinator, I have been beating this drum since last season. I've been beating this drum since the season has started. Our offensive coordinator does not give us a chance to win football games, period. Our offensive coordinator does not give us a chance to win football games. Burke, whatever his name, yeah, he does not give us a chance to win football games. He just doesn't. And listen, our guys on offense don't execute either. We can't have 3 drop balls. Those weren't McCown's fault. McCown was dreadful today, but those weren't McCown's fault. William McCoy, Coach Traylor talked about it 1,000 times against Texas State. He dropped the ball that could have changed the course of the game and gave us some momentum. He's made some good plays. He made a good, he had a big play early in the game. But you got to do the little things, and that's when they talk about building habits. He catches that ball and secures that ball on that, what was that, 4th down at the end of the game. He gives us an opportunity. First off, if you catch it clean and run, who knows, that could end up being a touchdown, right? That changes the course of the game. But we don't do the little simple things correct. This is not characteristic of a Jeff Traylor team that we've seen since during his tenure at UTSA. They're undisciplined. How many penalties did we get? We were over 10 plus, I think, at the start of the 4th quarter. Let me pull up the box score. We're not and the discipline aspect of it is shocking. 12 penalties for 91 yards. Come on, man. We can't win. We can't win. We can't win like that. We can't win like that. This is my friends, like listen, I don't know what to say. We're not going to win very many football games. I don't know who we're going to beat playing like that. I just don't know. It's a great time for the bye week, isn't it? It's a great time for the bye week. Listen, respect to McCown. He's went out there. He's done it. He tries. He's not fit for this level of football. Not at UTSA anyway. Not with the expectations that UTSA has right now. He's not fit for it. He doesn't offer anything spectacular. He's not. I don't think he doesn't pull up any trees, man. We don't have anything to build off of there. I mean, he makes poor decisions. He doesn't throw the ball away. I don't know how many times we've And here's the thing. Sometimes when he didn't throw the ball away, he'd slide or get tackled or something like that. These are 2 and 3 yard losses. And if they start happening consecutive to, you know what? Let's say they only happen one time throughout a drive. You do that on 1st and 10, and now we're backed up 2nd and 14. That completely changes everything. He did that over and over and over again. Doesn't protect the ball. We do not value field position at all. At all. Listen, I'm going to stop blaming Coach Burke, the offensive coordinator, for some of this stuff. Some of this stuff is Jeff Traylor as well. Like like I've said this before, he is not beyond criticism. He got to manage this differently, bro. Think about that 3rd and 7 at the end of the 3rd quarter. I'm sorry, I don't care. That was a pivotal time in the game, in my opinion, where we were actually starting to move the ball a little bit. On that 3rd down, they got to do something with the chin straps. His chin strap is never even buckled any time, so his helmet's popping off every time. You call a timeout and you get McCown back in there. I'm talking about at that particular point in the game, and it's just bad. It's poor on all levels. On all levels. Hats off to our defense. Like I said, they were not perfect, but in my opinion, the amount of bad situations our offense put them in, and they've continued to put them in all season, they made plays. They kept us alive in the game, and they gave our offense the ball 4 or 5 times down the stretch to go down and tie the game. This is in the 4th quarter. Bro, 3 of those times we went 3 and out. Come on, man. And I know I'm going all over the place, and I'm going to get to your questions in a bit. We went 3 and out. And then some of the passes from McCown, he throws the ball too high, just not accurate, not on the same page with his receivers. He's not reading the defense as well. He can't do anything whenever they're under pressure. You bring in JT Clark. You don't throw him the ball. You say, "Hey, go run a post corner. We'll give you a throw." Like if that dude can't do anything, you can look at him and tell he's not moving the way he used to move. You can already see that. Throw him a jump ball or something. Just send him on a streak. And do something. Do something. He doesn't have, and I'm talking about McCown here. He doesn't have him. I'm not even. Listen, I'm more worried when he extends plays at this point. He gets outside the pocket, and I'm like, I don't know, dude. He's like in between two minds. He seems like he wants to run half the time. Seems like he wants to. When he does throw it, it's inaccurate. I'm gonna roll into the questions because this is listen, we're gonna be bad this year, bro. There's no other way around it. And here's the thing I'll say. Just one more thing on this. Just my thoughts on this whole thing with the quarterback. I know there's some arguments on Twitter, and I'm not saying that Eddie Lee Marburger has shown to pull up any trees because he hasn't. He hasn't played very well either whenever he gets his opportunities. But man, bro, I don't know. I want somebody that gives us a chance to make some noise. What about Tennyson? He can't be as bad as this, right? We gotta try something. I don't like going our offensive coordinator, and he obviously doesn't believe in McCown either. You can just see that in his play calls. Run the ball up the middle. In times where they're sitting there waiting on it. We just still do it anyway because we can't trust our quarterback to complete a pass for 5 yards. Come on, man. This is bad. This stuff is embarrassing, man. I think, and we put ourselves in this position. And it's a bad situation, man. Let's see. Even one says, "Are we bad again?" We're not a good football team because of our offense right now. That's just the truth. Our offense can't do anything. I have no confidence in them scoring. And this is what I'll continue to say it. You talk about talent and depth. If you can't put it together, you have nothing. You have a bad team. And that's the situation it looks like we are right now. We should have that team was not that good. Respect to East Carolina, they're better than we are. They're better than we are, but Were they like any kind of world beaters or anything like that? Nah, bro. No, not at all. I didn't watch I didn't watch a football team, that was the opposite of us that was just way better than us. Like I said, we're not losing these games due to we don't have talent on the field because we have talent. We don't have an offensive coordinator that knows what he's doing, and we don't have a quarterback that gives us a chance right now. Or we're not playing a quarterback that can give us a chance. Okay. Max says I'd say our big issues are quarterback plays, secondary tackling, and tackling in the secondary and penalties. Penalties, I mean, that's disgusting. 12 for 91 yards. Obviously, our quarterback play is just horrendous. Like, and I'll be honest with y'all, I've been feeling like this for a minute, but I've been trying to be nice because I've been trying to hold out some confidence. Like maybe I'm jumping the gun, maybe it's early in the season, and I've been trying to give McCown a chance, but like this isn't it. This isn't it. Raymond says the offensive staff is offensive. Absolutely. It's a joke right now at this point. Justin Burke got to go. On McCown ain't the problem. He's only a sophomore. He's going to be good. Yeah, respectfully, Marcus, I don't agree with this at all. I agree with Justin Burke. Got to go. On McCown ain't the problem. You tripping, bro. That he's a sophomore. Listen, he might. Yes, Justin Burke is bad, but Justin Burke is not out there overthrowing folks. Justin Burke is not out there throwing the ball in the coverage on some of these plays. Justin Burke is not out there not throwing the ball away whenever he gets outside the pocket and the play is breaking down. Justin Burke's not making those decisions, bro. He's not making those decisions. The player is making those positions or those decisions. Period. So I'll always appreciate your comment, but I disagree with this 100%. He's going to be good. I don't agree. I think we've seen his ceiling. I don't think he has. Listen, and that's okay, right? That's okay. Some people, other players and different players have different ceilings. I think we've seen it. He's not a very good quarterback. I said it last week, and it's just the truth. And I said that after coming off watching the Houston Christian game where we looked good. Yeah, I don't agree. Rough game today, fighting many of the same demons we've been fighting. Absolutely correct. What can we do about the quarterback problem? Seems like a change could possibly provide the spark we need. Listen, I don't think you do the same thing we've been doing. That's what I'll say. Yeah, I do think you make a change, man. You make a change. Like that's just what it is at the end of the day. I mean, I just don't think he gives us a chance to win. Period. Let's see. We got Josh says OC has proven himself incompetent at play calling and instituting a disciplined offense. Penalties, drop balls, missed blocks, zero confidence in him, and the players have no confidence. The players Owen McCown, they was panning a camera over to him, on the ESPN feed. I mean, he threw that interception and came back and threw one right afterwards. He was devoid of confidence. Because think about it, he threw that interception, right? They had got him. He got lucky that they didn't call that one play a fumble, but they called it a intentional grounding right after the review. But while they were reviewing it, he was on the sideline with his head down already, and then he had to come back out there, and then he throws the interception on a third down, trying to make something happen. Right, like he has no confidence right now, and like the penalties, drop balls, and all of that, that's a discipline thing. And that stuff is just not on the OC. It's on that entire offensive staff. That's on that entire offensive staff there. The penalties that we have, unacceptable. All the false starts, all unacceptable, undisciplined. And it's inexcusable from a team with the players that we have, a team with the talent we have. Inexcusable, and unfortunate that it has been a problem in all season, and it's still haunting us. First game of conference, 12 penalties. I think that's the most we've had in the game this year, right? I think that's the most penalties we've had in the game. I don't think we've had more than 12 penalties. We had 10 against Texas State. How many we have against Kennesaw? We had a lot against Kennesaw too. 10 against Kennesaw. How many against Texas? Only 3. Yeah, the most. Yeah. That's what that just adds insult to injury. Add insult to injury. We're penalized the most in our conference opener. Unacceptable. Eric says, although the obvious penalties, defense played well. Offense had plenty of chances. Owen was all over the place. Huge drops from McCoy. I think it's safe to say Owen shouldn't start next game. He will start. He shouldn't. But here's the thing. Here's what I will say. I don't think that all I know is I don't think Owen is the guy that can give us a chance to win. I don't know if Eddie Lee Marburger is the answer. You know, I'm just saying, what do we got to lose at this point from seeing Tennyson or Davis or something? Like, what are we seeing? I at least want a guy that can be a playmaker, that can be a little bit mobile, as Diego's bringing up here. UTSA is missing a mobile quarterback who can move RPO. Just a bad performance after they let ECU get a free TD on penalties. I knew it was going to go down that way. I mean, listen, a mobile quarterback would help the RPO a lot because the quarterback is actually a threat to run. That should be part of the allure and part of the threat of a RPO thing is the quarterback being an effective runner. No defense is accounting for Owen to run the ball because he's not a threat at that. That'll be the same thing for Eddie Lee Marburger. So, yeah, I mean, we probably should do a better job recruiting guys that could fit that profile and fit the offense. At what point do you think Traylor fires Burke? I don't think he will. He's a stubborn guy, and I think some of that stubbornness has worked out well for us. But right now, it's doing the opposite, and he's going to stick with his guy. But somebody else needs to be calling plays. Period. Owen is awful. After Brandon High house call, we ran the ball another 8 times afterwards. Not once his name was called. Yeah, I don't understand that either. That kid can play, and not just from that. I thought that he's ran the ball pretty well, all things considered, this season. Defense was okay. We can build on it. But is it safe to say that the Owen McCown experiment is over? It's not going to be over. I'll tell you that right now. It's not going to be over. But Coach Traylor's going to back him up after the game. I'm sure he's going to say, I need to go look at the film. And we go from there at the end of the day. I'm just upset that I know that he's not going to make a change. And, like I said, I do not say this stuff to be disrespectful or come off like that at all. But I don't think McCown, based on what he's put on film this season, he doesn't give us a chance to win or beat teams that are decent. He doesn't give us a chance. I mean, I don't want to just start going down and saying we're going to lose every single game, but the teams that we know are going to be competitive, we're not going to have a chance with him at quarterback. It's just, I hate to be that way, but it's the truth. And I don't know the kid. I don't know the situation. I don't know any of these people personally. I'm just speaking based off what I see them put on tape. And that's not good enough to win you football games. It's just not. We can't play timid. You know what I'm saying? The play calling is timid. The passes are overthrown. Think about that first possession, right? We get down there right in front of the end zone. We was goal to go. And, we miss Hunter Thomas for a touchdown because of the overthrow. On this level, you have to be consistently accurate, especially when a receiver pops open. That's just pure fact. That's just a pure requirement at the quarterback position. You can't miss that throw. And the teams that don't have guys that can complete passes like that, they don't win. They don't win very many football games. And the majority of the time, those guys don't make it on the field. To be fair, ECU had an awful quarterback too. He's the most picked off quarterback in the country. I think he's thrown 11 picks through 5 games, which is a nightmare. Can we start a GoFundMe for a quarterback from the portal? Honestly, bro, you saying this as a joke, but this is we need that for real. I'm not even being funny. We need money to go get a quarterback, right? Like, you're saying this as a joke. No, we legitimately need that. We need that. Like, straight up. Like, and just to go in on this a little bit more, Coach Traylor's recruiting pitch was, "Hey, look at the film. If you think you're better than McCown and you think you're better than Eddie Lee Marburger, then come on over here. And if not, then go elsewhere." I think I think hindsight's always 2020, but that's biting them in the what, huh? That cavalier response sounds arrogant now. I'm just calling a spade a spade. That's us coming off 2 conference championships and our first bowl victory. We say we take that approach. Well, we ain't doing that now. I bet he'd like to change that pitch up a little bit more, huh? That's just the truth. I'm not going at anybody personally, but that's just the truth. That's the first thing I thought about. And I was like, I think I was seeing it on my Twitter feed. People were like, can't we just recruit? Why can't we just recruit other guys? And I was like, well, remember what the recruiting pitch was. I mean, we don't have the money, first off, but like that recruiting pitch, I think he'd select a different one. Josh says defense played awesome. We can't expect them to carry the team. Eventually they will make mistakes and get tired. Listen, I do think the defense played well. They played pretty good. Like I said, it wasn't perfect, but they did their job, in my opinion. They did more than their job. When the offense plays that way, you put the position. Like, how many times there was multiple times where the offense get turned the ball over, and ECU was already in plus field position. You know what I'm saying? Like, defenses are going to bend. Those other people are on scholarship. Those other coaches are well-paid coaches as well, who their job is to scheme up against the defense. Our defenses are not going to be perfect, but what you want the defense to do is to keep you in the game, keep you relative, and give your offense and your team a chance to win. They did that. Our offense did not meet them halfway, and that's unfortunate. Did Willie drop the ball, or were they throwing poorly? Oh no. So he dropped all 3 of those. Those 3 at the end, those 3, yeah, those are dropped. Those are hit him right in the chest. All 3 of them. Those weren't on McCown. Unacceptable from Willie McCoy. That's just a fact. Can't happen. Embarrassing, to be honest. I've officially lost confidence in our OC and McCown. Melissa, me too. Our momentum crumbling after the second half was awful. Other than that Brandon High TD, it was miserable. It was terrible. But this is what I mean, and this is a consistent thing. And people, there's not most people, because I think most people have been hip to this, but I've been saying this for a while. I've been saying this since I've said this after game 1. I said, whenever we go off script, the offensive play calling is terrible every time we go off script. And I'm telling you right now, the first 15 to 20 plays of a game is going to be scripted by that coordinator. He's going to know what his first 15 to 20 plays are going to be. And if you notice what happened in this game, first half, things looking good. We schemed them up. They go into the second half. Defense makes adjustments. Guess what happens with our offense? We can't stop at that. Well, we can't get any yardage anymore. We don't make any adjustments. We're not creative. We just do the same thing, and the defense adjusts to it, and they stomp us. This is elementary stuff. This should not be happening on our level. For a team that has what we have, you should be chopping at the bit. We should be having guys lining up at the door wanting to go in and be an offense coordinator for Traylor and things like that. I don't know what we're doing in that situation. You gotta understand, coaching and stuff like that is also about putting the staff together. Not great, not a great hire. Not a great hire. He was bad last year. He's poor again. This offensive coordinator is. Owen was bad. The receivers didn't help when the ball's there. Too many drops. Absolutely correct. 1901. Absolutely correct. Owen was bad, but the receivers didn't help him either. Owen needs to run the ball occasionally. I mean, yeah, sure. I don't. I don't disagree with this, but the decision making, everything just seems like it's a second guess, and there's not a lot of conviction about. There's not a lot of conviction behind anything he does. I'm gonna try to speed through some of these. There's a lot of comments here. Was there JT Clark sighting? Absolutely. He played. I would, if I had to guess, he was probably around anywhere from, I would say, 15 to 20 plays. I think he was on. We need an OC change immediately. I agree. At least in the play calling side of things, I don't think enough people are talking about the attendance drops. About the attendance drops for the next home game. Oh, bro, nobody's gonna show up, unfortunately. I think I'll be at that one too. Or yeah, I'll be at the next one, the next home game. I'll be there. Bro, it is on a site. Wait, it is on site if I see Burke. Gonna be take charge for the team. Just don't suspend me, UT. Yeah. No, we don't want to do Burke like that. It's not. We don't condone that type of thing, my guy. Ania says, with as much creativity and freedom allowed to offenses for the future of our program, I hope to see some new ideas in our offensive approach. Also, at the college football level, need a difference making quarterback. Absolutely correct. I agree with that 100%. We're it's a little bland for me. Like I understand the RPO being the base of the offense, right? Like that, you see that everywhere around college football, but there's no spunk to our offense. There's no creativity, there's no evolution to what we're doing. It's not everything is all linear. It seems like this coach is trying to, like, some of the plays he calls up, it's only supposed to go to one person, and it's like it's almost designed for the coordinator to look good. And I don't know, we just don't seem to have options. We don't hit our second or third option. It's just not good. And you're right on the difference maker at quarterback. That's what I'm saying. Like, respect to McCown for going out there. I respect everybody who straps on a helmet, especially at that position. But like, you got to bring some sort of attribute that's significant to the table at the quarterback position at the Division I level, man. You got to. You can't just be like, you can't be. You got to offer something. Like, there's this. I don't know if you guys followed, but you see this whole thing about, Richard Sherman had said that Travis Hunter was a bland receiver or whatever the case may be. On McCown, I mean, you know, I don't even want to get into that, but like, he just doesn't have what it takes, I think, to be to lead a team in the AAC to success. And that is not a personal attack on anybody. That is literally just what I'm seeing on film. Objective as I can be. Lost track of the penalties. We had 12. At what point do we start questioning the competency of our staff, including our head coach? I mean, we obviously know our head coach is competent, but when you talk about buy-in, that's buy-in and belief and all that stuff and discipline and all of that. It shows up with penalties like that. Some of the penalties you can't help, but like the false starts, like, what are we doing? And they hurt more on offense because our offense can't do anything. They can't can't complete simple passes. So whenever you push our offense back 5 yards, it is significant. I'm ready for the nightmare on Elm Street. It might be a nightmare when he gets into, but it's a nightmare now. I know that much. McCown plays like a high schooler. Listen, people tried to come at me whenever I said that he doesn't throw with great timing. He's late on a lot of his passes and a lot of this stuff. And that's a development issue. It's a development issue 100%. 100%. And I'm not being disrespectful when saying he's in high schooler, but he's definitely not at this level right now. And I'm just, like I said, calling a spade a spade. Penalties are drive killers, absolutely. Let me see. I'm gonna try to get down into some of this stuff that's more recent. So sorry if I don't get to your questions, guys. There's a lot in here today. Replace the coordinator, then change the QB if the problem persists. I mean, it's persisted. The coordinator has consisted for a while. There's no way Coach Traylor has looked at some of this stuff and like, oh, you know what? I think our coordinator's calling a great game. Come on, bro. Come on now. It was a hard game to watch, both bad. Yep. ELM isn't cut out for this level of football either. I don't disagree with you, Eric. I don't disagree with you, but I'm sick of seeing what I'm seeing right now. I'd rather see something different. And then if he don't get it done, go to the next guy, next man up. I'd rather our season go that way than to roll out a guy that doesn't give us a real chance to compete. It is what it is. At least give, ELM a run of games to play. Like these little cameos he has, what are you going to do with those? That's tough. I would rather run a power I formation and run two backs and run 70% of the game. I would too at this point. I'm not even, yeah. Coach Traylor needs to stop complaining about NIL and hold his coaching and his staff accountable. Talk about triangle of toughness. You know what? NIL is part of the reason why McCown is our quarterback, probably. So I do think he needs to complain, but yeah, he got to hold his guys accountable too. He has to hold his guys accountable. Traylor doesn't want to put ELM in. Imagine how bad he's got to be to not be given a chance at this point. The whole quarterback room is horrible. I at least want to see if they're horrible. Like McCown has been given a clear shot to be the starting quarterback. He's played enough. We've seen enough of a sample size from him now to understand who he is and how he plays. I can't say the same. Like you can say some similar things about Eddie Lee, but not like he hasn't been great. But like at this point, I'm like, why not give him a couple games to see what he can do with him being the guy? Why not? Why not? Like I said, can't be. I mean, I guess it can be worse, but we're not going to win much with what we have right now. And here's the thing about the quarterback room. The whole quarterback room is horrible. We don't know because we haven't seen Tennyson or Davis or the other guys. We haven't seen them. So I don't know if it's horrible. I think that we jumped the gun when we say that. We have to see those guys first in order to call them horrible. Like I said, now we're seeing Jeff Traylor coaching abilities. High school players, a high school quarterback. Harris made it easy for Traylor and the offensive coordinator. My man does not like Traylor here. I mean, look, I'm not gonna be disrespectful to Traylor. Everybody has tough years. Everybody has like bad situations, but his coordinator is bad. Yeah, his coordinator is bad. Yeah, I don't think they'll be using any sound bites from this chat to include in their hype video. Exactly. Every play he needs to bless it. Let's see. See if we get some other ones. A lot of comments coming in. Let's see. Straight up. Pokemon says it just feels like the team chemistry is off with this team. Obviously, we're going through a state of flux with this team, but something about this team is just off. Yeah, you don't have a leader. You don't have a clear leader. That's what it is. You can see that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that much. You don't have an offensive voice. You don't have an offensive leader. It shows up here in and here out. You don't see these guys. I think defensively, I think those guys are together. Those guys have shown resiliency. You see them vocal on the field. You see them vocal, yelling, screaming, patting each other on the back, shaking hands, congratulating each other when they make plays. That shows chemistry. I think defensively we do have some chemistry. Offensively, we don't have a leader. We don't have anybody that's going to galvanize the troops when things look bad. And this is no dig at Oscar Cardenas, but like you need a quarterback. You need someone. It's why I keep making the point about we don't have a big time threat on offense. Because normally that big time threat is who we will rely on whenever we get in a bind. And think about it, right? If you're watching the Cowboys and we got a 3rd and 7. If we can also, we already know where Dak Prescott will want to go with the ball. He's going to want to go to his you know, star receiver CeeDee Lamb. That's what he's going to look for, right? Like that's what you typically see with any team. For us, it was Zachary Franklin. It was Joshua Cephas last year, right? We had a go-to guy that whenever we're in the bind, we go to that guy. Where is that guy on our offense? Folkmore Gay says, I've lost confidence in McCown, lost confidence in our receivers, and lost confidence in our running game. It's our offense, and that's Burke. I think Frank made Harris look good last year. I'm assuming you're saying Frank made Burke look good last year. He didn't make him look good to me. But like I said, I will continue to reiterate this. When I interviewed Frank and I had him on the show over the summer or earlier this year, I was very vocal about I think he saved Burke a lot, and there was a little bit of acknowledgement from him on it was his first year doing his thing. Absolutely, absolutely. And it's unfortunate that Frank he didn't have any more eligibility left, and can't save him this year. Danny says, bro, half the time we're playing Bush League. Don't disagree. Jose says Harris bailed out. Yeah, he did. Now we have a quarterback that can't do the same on offensive trash. Yeah, the lack of we have a lot of comments. Let me see. I'm trying to get through a lot of all of them, guys. I'll skip the ones that have covered things I've already talked about. Makes me wonder how good Frank. Okay, so everybody's saying a lot of stuff about Frank. Let's see here. Let's see. Start ELM and start Brandon High. I'm gonna say something about this. Brandon High is a good player. Yeah, he's a good player. I want to see more of him. What was also interesting is I thought Kavorian, he had him a couple good runs today. I don't like our rotation at running back. Slim the rotation down, play a couple of your best guys, let them get into a rhythm and go from there. We're flipping out too many running backs. Too many. I don't like that. It's no, not a good thing. Say Frazier's a dog, almost had 3-4 picks. We're gonna lose him along with our other defensive weapon if we don't get our stuff together. Yeah, he's a good player. I think he's gotten off to sort of a slow start, but he definitely came out and balled out today. After giving up, he did give up a big play early in the game, but he made two. I mean, he was just clutch down the stretch. He had a few PBUs. Also, he had a really, really big day, and he has a lot of size. Yeah, he probably won't come back if we're terrible. He probably won't. Start Demetrius Davis. I haven't heard a thing about him, so I doubt that he's any close to being a starter. Is that really it? Are we bad this year? How do we correct this? No idea, bro. No idea. I genuinely don't know. Kathy says, overall, I'm seeing a lack of leadership and discipline. I've never played, but I'm a business person. This is just poorly led and executed. Sports and business, same thing. It's just excuses. You're Kathy, you're not wrong. I tell you that much. Yeah, listen, strategically, we're behind. We don't look prepared. We do not have discipline. And, we don't have leaders on the offensive side on the field. You're not going to beat teams that are together. You're not going to beat good teams in that way. We don't have a threat offensively. Our offensive coordinator is not even, he's not calling very good plays. Our offense is very vanilla, no substance, no excitement. Like I said, once he goes off script, our situational play calling is atrocious. We had a 4th and a long one, and we tried the little trick. What was it? The little trick, tush push type play with Oscar. Come on, man. Come on. Why is he making me talk about stuff like that? And even the little cute plays, trick plays he tried, they're not even clever. That That I don't accept myself just thinking about that. Just not none of this stuff is clever. And you know what's funny about it is like I've said that y'all have heard me say this a lot. I see like I'm watching the game and like our offense is so we do the same thing so much. You can just tell by like what we're doing pre-snap exactly what's coming. I'm not proud of I'm gonna tell you why I'm not proud of that, right? This is not me trying to boast like, oh my God, I know football. I have an eye for football. It ain't even got nothing to do with that. I don't care to brag about my knowledge or anything like that. I don't care to do that. I say that because I'm highlighting how predictable we are offensively. And if I can just sit on my couch and look at my screen and can shout out exactly what we're finna doing, what do you think the other team who is trying to beat them? What do you think they're doing? What do you think they're keying on? I said the other day I broke down what a cornerback studies or what a defensive back studies whenever they're watching a quarterback, watching tape on a quarterback, all the tendencies, what they do on these down versus these down. It's obvious ECU knew what was coming every single time. We have no clever way of getting to the like. Here's the thing: a lot of the offenses, like everybody does the same stuff. You got your flood concepts, you got your flat concepts, you got curls concepts, you got your, you know, you got a lot of the same things, right? But you have to find creative ways to get yourself there, right? You have to dupe the defense. You have to disguise some of what you're doing. Man, we don't do it. We don't do it at all. Like we don't do it. It's there's just a ton in here. Owens indecisiveness was the downfall of the offense down the stretch. Can't win with an indecisive quarterback that isn't confident in himself. Time to give someone else a shot. That's my point, Matt. I'm with you 100%. That's my point. That's one of my points. He's indecisive. We're just not going to have an opportunity to win football games, if it's like that. Eric says Traylor has got to be unhappy, right? I'm sure he's not feeling good about this situation. Because right now, I don't think we're gonna go. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. And I'd love to hear what you guys think of this. Do you think we're going to a bowl game this season? You think we'll get to 6 wins? I don't I don't see it. And I hate to say that, but I don't see it. I'll be curious to hear what you guys think. And I don't think I'm overreacting when I say that. We have not played one good game of football this season. Not in my opinion. Nothing that makes me feel good about like what we have going forward. Do you guys think we're gonna go to a bowl game? You think we'll get to 6 wins? If so, call them out. I based on what I'm seeing today, I don't think our offense, unless we have a change at quarterback and like we start to look different, I don't see it. I don't see it. Is it too early to start rebuilding for next season and call this season a wash? No. Here's what I'll say. Like this is one of the reasons why I'm like, you know what? Why not try to meet, Brandon Tennyson, another QB, right? Like, why not try some of these guys? Why not? What do we have to lose? Why not? Whenever you do that, you start giving some of the freshmen more, or maybe you save their red shirts, but then you got to hope they come back. So like, I don't know. Let's see. Marcus says, how do we increase NIL money to entice better recruits to come to San Antonio? Well, you ain't gonna do it by looking like this, because a lot of folks that donate their money, they want to donate their money to good things, and a lot of the folks that we're after that's trying to get, we need like attention and notoriety is going to help UTSA get more money. With performances like this and a situation like this is just going to breed less of that. It's just taking us in the opposite direction of where we want to head, So I don't know. No idea. That there's a lot of people who are paid a lot of money to figure that to figure that out. And I don't envy them. What I saw from Mac Jones when he was with the Patriots, I see in McCown, he is scared of getting hit and throwing bad passes. Would you agree? Um, I would. I think this is a worse situation than what Mac Jones looked like with the Patriots. Y- yeah. Now we see his coaching abilities. He's not what we thought. Please, bro. I'm not gonna go that far. Try a third string quarterback, and McCoy's can't catch for crap. Yeah, he gotta do something better. Though very disappointing season so far, but still a lot to play for. Bad play calling and very bad discipline football. As a season ticket holder, it's going to be a long year. It is. It is. It doesn't look great. It doesn't look great at all. Um, I was not impressed with our bowl win. I told y'all, but everybody was. There was a lot of people in my like. Not that the bowl win wasn't impressive. I think it's. I mean, listen, I am naturally a historian for UTSA because I was a part of the first signing class. I was part of the first team. So those milestones still mean something to me. They just do. So us getting our first bowl win, that was significant for me, right? It was something I was really, really happy seeing our school accomplish. Um, but whenever we talk about McCown's performance in a bowl game, it wasn't great. And people, whenever we were having a quarterback discussion, there were a lot of people in this chat telling me, "Well, he started the bowl game that we won. Of course, it's him. Like he proved then. Blah 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 blah." I had been saying it from then. We hadn't seen a good enough sample size for him to say that he's the guy because he was the quarterback for that bowl victory. Like that performance got elevated because of the significance of what that win meant for our school. His individual performance in that game was not great. He turned the ball over a few times in that game. Do we have a third quarterback? Yes, we do. His name is Brandon Tennyson from Gilmer, Texas. Um, you know, he's from a Trailers high school system, so why not give him a shot? Give him an opportunity. We've had issues with penalties for years. I would have thought that would have been solved by now. Is it a culture thing? It very well could be. It very well could be. O-line is bad. Offensive play calls are bad. ELM will be worse. Need to put the transfer quarterback in. He is a runner, and the O-line is going to fail McCown at ELM. The transfer quarterback at least has experience behind a bad O-line. The O-line is, I'm going to be honest with you, it's Rap. I felt like, listen, the O-line has been bad, but they gave him time today. They weren't as leaky. I think they created some running lanes for the running backs. Not a ton, but you gotta understand, East Carolina has a good defense also. But the O-line was not poor today, in my opinion. They weren't. You got how many times did we see McCown have a lot of time, scramble left, scramble right, hold on to the ball for too long, get sacked, do something crazy with it, never throw it away. We've seen that happen a lot, right? And in those situations, when just because a defensive lineman gets to the quarterback does not mean the O-line failed. Like we gotta understand that, right? The O-line is bad when they blow an assignment or they get bullied consistently throughout the game. If we got a quarterback that's patting the ball and he's just sitting back there patting the ball and not getting rid of it, the O-line is not designed to hold up for 5-10 seconds. That's not how it works. That's not how these plays are. No, that's not how it works. So I'm not saying the O-line was great, but like to say, oh, well, the O-line is was so awful and they failed McCown, and today I don't subscribe to that. I'm not saying they haven't been bad and they haven't. I mean, they started out really, really poor. They, in my opinion, objectively have improved week in and week out. They're still not a top grade offensive line or anything like that. But are they? And they still false start too much for my liking. But did they give him an opportunity? Like they gave him time to pick out people in the pocket. They did create some running lanes. Our running was not terrible today. Could have been better. But they did open up some lanes. So I'm not gonna go in on the O-line that hard this time. I don't listen. I don't. saying ELM will be worse, maybe so. Maybe he will be. But like I said, he hadn't got his fair crack at the job. He hadn't got it. Listen, I don't know what it'll look like, but I know I don't like what I'm seeing now. And we talk about the transfer quarterback. He's saying like at least he has experience behind a bad O-line. He just got to the program. Like I also don't really entertain that one either, because it's like there's no way they're going to throw him in there. It's not realistic, in my opinion. I do think it's a little bit more realistic for Brandon Tennyson, but like I don't think it's realistic for the transfer. Like why put the transfer in? You might as well keep him. Save eligibility for him and bring him back the next year to actually compete for the job. I wouldn't burn his shirt this year personally. Let's see. Defense doesn't deserve the break they're getting. They held when they needed, but they allowed the deep ball. ECU knew they had it and kept trying it. I'm like, listen, doesn't deserve the break to get you tripping, Brandon. Like, yeah, no, I don't agree with this. You know why? I don't agree with this because, as I said earlier, as a defense, you're not going to be perfect. Like, defenses don't pitch shutouts very often. You know what I'm saying? They just don't. Your perspective can't be. I mean, first off, your perspective can't be whatever you want it to be. But like, I'm just going to offer a different recommendation of how to evaluate defensive play or what a defense can do, and some other things to consider while watching. So, first off, there's context to everything. If the defense, like our offense, like I said, has multiple times giving away the ball on turnovers, giving away the ball in situations where they're already on the plus side of the field. Now the defense has their play calling is different whenever you may not be as aggressive whenever you are, on the other side of the 50 versus if the offense is backed up, or, you never know how that's going to impact the coordinator, right? Or defensive coordinator. You want your defense. Yes, in a perfect world, they'll pitch a shutout. In a perfect world, they'll keep every team under 14 points. That's a perfect type of scenario. But like, that's not realistic in today's college football, especially with all the advantages offenses have against defenses, which is another reason why I'm annoyed with our offense. But that's another point I'll make in a minute. But from a defensive standpoint, you can't look at it and say, well, the defense allowed a big ball. That's going to happen. It's a game, like for example, Zay Frazier gave up a big play early in the but guess what? He came back and taxed them with 2 interceptions that were clutch and that were timely. They gave our offense ample opportunities to come in and capitalize and try to give us a chance to win. Like, they definitely deserve the break they're getting because they kept us alive. The reason we had an opportunity to win the game is because of the defense. All things considered, like I said, they didn't play perfect. But if you watch the game from the start to finish, you got to tip your cap to them. It's not going to be. That's what I'm saying. It's just not going to look perfect every single time. You have to consider what their situation is. You also have to consider their opponents. Those people are on scholarship just like our offense and defense is. So, like, yeah, teams are gonna make plays against us. We can't be unrealistic whenever we're evaluating some of these things. Where you do start to kill them. And listen, we don't cover very well. We don't tackle like things that are consistently happening over the course of a season, over the course of a game. Yeah, like, you gotta like get on a defense about that. And the leaks that they do have, you got to get on them about that. But you can't beat down on that side of the ball, considering they gave our offense time after time after time after time to get us back in the game and potentially to win the game. In your opinion, should we try out the third string? Absolutely. Yeah. Yes. Should we try out the third string quarterback or which he's talking about, Tennyson or Davis? Yeah, why not? Why not? I don't know about Davis, but Tennyson, yeah, why not? UTSA has 5 quarterbacks. All right, let's see if we can get down to some more. Got about 5 for our wrap. Let's see. Feed Brandon Highmore. Typically, running backs get stronger with more touches. Absolutely. So I agree with this 100%. I talked about this earlier. Way too much rotation. Way too much rotation. Way too much. Good news is we have a bye week. They need to open up their quarterback position battle again. If you listen to coach's interviews, he does a lot of coach speak for we are not that good this year. Yeah, I know. It's this. I hate that. I don't like that. Like sometimes he doesn't, and I don't like to watch coach interviews or player interviews much at all. But like the only reason I started watching them this year is because you guys ask a lot of, like have reference a lot of those in the questions. So I'm kind of forced to. I like to stay away from commentary and other podcasts as much as I possibly can, so I can maintain my individual thoughts and not like get influenced by anything someone else says. So like a lot of times people will reference like something said on another podcast, and I don't not listen to these other podcasts on purpose, but I don't want my thoughts on this matter, since I'm going to be up here talking for an hour a couple times a week. I don't want my thoughts to be influenced at all. So I don't listen to every single coach interview. I don't listen to the coach podcast he does or radio show he does very often at all. But I have started looking at his post game stuff, and yeah, he does do a lot of coach talk around like, oh, we're really just not that good. I don't care, bro. Figure it out. That's your job, right? Figure it out. We got to be better. We have so much talent, but our coaches are not getting the best out of these boys. Yeah, we got a lot of talent, but like, yeah, it has to. I don't know. The whole talent thing gets to me a little bit, because people say that all the time, and I'm like, talent is nothing if you can't put it together. Let's see, what do we got? I'm gonna try to look at some of these at the end. Watching high school games with UTSA on offense, bro, it hurts. Yeah, we're bad. If Traylor doesn't fire Burke, expect a mass exodus of play. Absolutely. We'll lose every offensive player we got if Burke is still there. We might even do that if he lets him stay throughout the season calling plays, which he probably will. So expect our offense to look very different next season. Our quarterback needs to have a swag and confidence about themselves. And Owen and ELM don't neither. Yeah, they probably don't. But I don't want to see. We've seen enough from McCown, in my opinion, at this point. What changed in the second half? Totally different team. I can tell you exactly what changed. Our coordinator was forced to make an adjustment in his play calling because the defense adjusted to what he was doing, and he had no answer. This is not new. We've seen this multiple times. He's good for about the first quarter and a half when he's on script. When he's off script, he's not good. He's not very good at all. And I mean, you can. I mean, I'm not even going to do that because this might sound like I'm trying to personally attack the man. I'm not, but I'm calling a spade to the best of my abilities. We don't scare defenses at all. I saw players open. He's just not good. Is a bowl game possible? I would say it is less likely than I thought it was at the beginning of this year. And we only have 4. So that when you ask that question, let's look at it. Is a bowl game possible? That means we would have to win 4 of the next, 7 games. Those games are against Rice, FAU, Tulsa, Memphis, Temple, North Texas, and Army. Do we got to guarantee 4 wins there? I can tell you there's going to be 3 or 4 that are going to be probably tough games. That are probably going to be tough games. That you can look at the schedule and see very, very clearly. So yeah, I don't know. It's going to be literally a crapshoot. If Traylor doesn't fire Burke, I went over that one already. What do you think can be done to improve attendance at home games? Playing like this year is going to help. Yeah, winning solves all of it. Winning, notoriety, momentum, playing for something, all of that. And, how we schedule teams as well. But yeah, if we continue to look like this, that attendance number is going to stay where it's at. Is any of the freshmen good? We got to see them. We got to see enough of them. We obviously got some freshmen that are good. Brandon High, which I think he's a redshirt freshman, is shown to be good. Will Henderson is a good player. At least a weapon already that we can see. So excited about him. Elijah Newell is somebody that we've seen, and I think he has promise that he's shown he has promise already. We have some guys, but we got to see them. They gotta earn their way into the rotations. Let's see. McCown doesn't show any emotion. Not our leader. Uh, he's not the leader. I mean, Trailers even said that. That's not me speculating. He said that he's not there yet. He's just trying to figure out his situation. Yeah. You think Trailer's going to leave after this god awful season and completely decimate all? Yeah, if he gets a good offer, yeah. Like if that Baylor job opens up and we have an awful season, he's out. He won't. And we can't have hard feelings like that. That he's been here for half a decade, right? So like, yeah, the NIL situation is not great. And that dude wants to coach on a big time level and play big time football. And if he starts to see that he's not going to be able to play or coach big time football in high leverage in very important games, he's not gonna hang around. Hard to figure out the receivers. So much promise, but they keep dropping catchable passes. Yeah, but we've had one. Yeah. I don't like to single people out like that, but yeah, I'm with you. Okay, we're talking about. Let's see. Not gonna go in on that. What happened to David Amador? Well, honestly, was going to be a top receiver for UTSA. Injuries. I think he had like a hamstring issue. Once again, let's see. Once again, ELM and McCown ain't it? They both stink. They probably aren't, but I know I've seen enough of McCown. Jackson, exactly. Our offense is so predictable. It's been the same play for the past 5 years. I know Aeneas will agree with that. If he's in the chat, he'll agree with that 100%. We've been talking about that offline quite a bit, and that's similar to how he feels. As much as I love pocket quarterbacks, this new era of football requires more mobile quarterbacks. If our quarterback can't scramble, we're going to lose. A scrambling QB can eliminate so many mistakes. Yeah, in an offense like ours, when we're doing heavy run pass option, the quarterback has to be a threat with his legs, and we just don't have one. At least not the two guys that we've been rolling out there. We keep putting ourselves in positions to fail. I agree. Let's see. With Owen, we're gonna go 5-7. That seems like a fair estimation, to be honest. Agree that our situational scripts are bad. We are predictable. They see our line. Yeah. Trailer has, let's see, we're getting 8 wins. I'm still a believer. I hope so, but I don't feel good about that. Trailer has constantly allowed Owen to make horrendous mistakes, yet yanked ELM for less last year. Yeah. ELM has not been given a real shot. When he did, he popped off. That's why I'm not even trying to be funny, but that's why I'm just like, what's the worst that can happen? Like, start him against Rice, give him a full bye week to be the starting quarterback, have him super prepared to go into Rice and see what happens. The guy that we have right now don't give us a chance to. We don't have a chance to win, big games with him. So why keep going in that route? Let's see. I don't know. Let's see. McCown family low key running the quarterback room. Yeah. 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 I'll keep my thoughts to that private on this situation, but definitely some influence. I think the Tulsa game will determine whether we go. Probably offer Will Stein the head coach job to bring it back at this point. Let's see. Let me try to wrap here, but I want to get to some of the more recent comments as well, if I can. Keep up the faith. Off week may be what UTSA may need to focus. Listen, I want to comment on this real quick here, Fred. Like, I don't like football is not like football. You don't hope in football. It is, like I said, I've said this before, y'all, and I'll say it again. You've heard me say this. In football, you will get exposed. Your weaknesses will be exposed. Your strengths will also be exposed, right? Like you can't hide. There's no hiding in this sport. It's one of the reasons I love it so much. UTSA is what they put on tape. We have a defense that they're playmaking defense. They can make plays. We have some playmakers on that side of the ball. They're not perfect, right? They're going to give up some stuff, but they're bend but don't break. They don't typically break unless we're just outclassed by a team. But they're definitely going to bend. Offensively, we have a poor coordinator. We don't execute the plays he calls. I don't like the plays he calls, but we don't execute them either from a player standpoint. Our quarterback that we have starting at the moment is not accurate. He throws the ball very high. He throws the ball late. He doesn't extend when he does extend plays. He doesn't do anything with it. And so anyway, that's who we are. That's our identity. That's what we are. People say like, "Oh, we don't have an identity yet." No, our identity is very clear, right? But whenever we say, "Oh, a team has an identity," it is typically associated with something that is positive. And in this situation, we are not we don't have a positive identity. That's what the reality is. In this situation, we don't have a positive identity. And that's unfortunate. But yeah, like keeping up hope and stuff like that in football, it don't really work that way, unfortunately. And I'm not coming at you about your comment. I'm just, I see that get thrown out a lot. A lot of that is being talked about on Twitter, like, oh, I hope that we turn it around, blah, blah, blah. No, there's no hope in this game. You are what you put on tape. That's why we're still seeing the same issues we seen early in the season. The personnel ain't changed. So guess what? You're going to see those same issues. That offensive coordinator ain't changed. So guess what? You're going to see those same issues. Ain't going nowhere. I hate to be like that. And that's not me like punting on the season. That's why I'm asking for the coach to make a change, because I want our situation to change. And I think some folks, that's why they talk about coaches being stubborn sometimes, because they're going to believe and hope that this is going to work out. Like this plan, I'm planning with this person, this is going to work out. It don't happen that way. Got to be able to pivot. And it's that time. The constant rotation of players is also, yes, absolutely, Ninth Spartan. It gets on my nerves too. I'm sick of the rotation at running back, and I'm also sick of the rotation at corner. I'm sick of it. Make a choice. That's all that people pleasing. Make a choice. We got to do it in the front seven. We got to do it with the D-line. Understand all that. And to a degree, you got to do it at the receiver position. So I understand all that. At running back, make a choice. Go with two. Come on, man. Go with two, and then have you a threat guy. That you give jet sweeps and stuff to. But we how many running backs touch the ball? Now I'm annoyed about it, so I want to go see. How many running backs touch the ball today? Ooh, only three. So I guess I'm tripping today. But to me, that's still too much, because you went 8, 13, and 7 carries at the running back position. No. I go 2. I'm brokenhearted. I'm not a flip fan. I'll show it when they don't, but I'm still concerned with the lack of NIL, the lack of leadership, discipline. I know I'm ranting, but I'm mad. I'm upset too. It's all good. Darren, I agree with the bowl win was big, but the performance by the quarterback was not agreed. We still don't have side of the ball we can hang our hat on yet. Jose, so maybe you jumped the gun a little bit on this one and didn't hear my whole comment, but my point on the bowl win, it was big and significant. But my point about that was the quarterback wasn't great. Wait, hold on. But the performance by the quarterback was not great. Agreed. Oh, okay. So no, you're with me. Okay, my bad. I miss interpreted what you were saying there. Agreed, there are improvements. Okay. Gilbert Padilla, I'm in here when they play on the road at the Dome for the other home games to see. Offensive line played an awesome game, bro. Owen just sucked with the decisions. Yeah, I thought the offensive line did their jobs today, if I'm being honest. Darren, you're right. We have nothing to lose with trying other ones. That's what I'm saying. We don't. We've already seen what was going. We already know what we got with what we what's the name. It's not going to be great. So why not try the other guys? Defense held up well, especially in stopping the run. They caused many 3-and-outs. That's what I'm saying. That's why I got a little. Um, that's why I had to go in on that one comment about the defense was being bad, and I'm just like, I don't think so. You can't berate a defense with insults when they give the offense that many opportunities to score at the end of the game to take the lead. Even one that was inside the 20. Come on, bro. We can't, or it was right outside the 20, somewhere around the red zone. Come on, man. And then we go 3-and-out from that. First conference games, didn't see any intensity. Trailer has lost the locker room. I don't know if he's lost it, but it don't look great right now. No fundamentals on tackling, but our defense doesn't lose games. Vince, the offense, yeah, we got to do better. Like I said, I'm not saying the defense played perfect. Not saying that at all. That's not ever been my thing. But they gave us a chance to win the game. That's what it comes down to. Offense doesn't right now. All right, just the last few here. Jose says, after we've shown our ineptitude at adjusting the offense to our strengths on offense, if we have any, not sure at this point if rather than our offense just needs help. Owen McCown lost his helmet 3 times. You're not recognizing the mental toll of the offensive line, letting the defensive line get to the quarterback. Why you think scrambling going out? Offensive line broke his confidence. It's Rab. I think you really like McCown, don't you? Like, I just don't agree. I don't agree with the whole offensive line. Like I said, some of those times he lost the ball, he was outside of the pocket. It's not the O-line's fault every time. You know? Some of the time he's scrambling, that's not the O-line, that's not on the offensive line. Maybe the receivers didn't get open, right? But like the offensive line can't break his confidence either. If he loses confidence, that's on him. You know, like every player has to be locked in mentally coming to a game, and you got to be resilient. You know, that's just the way it is. That's ball. That's ball, 100%. So, yeah, I'll leave it there. Thanks for the game reactions, of course, man. Always. Rice is not a true test. If OW loses that game, then move on. Then move to ELM if you don't want to put in the transfer like that. Yeah, if we were to lose, Rice isn't a true test. Every reason why, if I was coaching, I was thinking of making a change, I would probably bring in the next quarterback to play against Rice because they aren't it's a team we probably should be, you know, just to give that new guy some confidence. I wouldn't put Owen McCown in that situation. Well, all I'm saying about McCown is, I mean, we've seen, you know, what we're going to see from him, and I think that's about it. I mean, I think we've seen how good he can be, and there's just clear limitations. I'll just say that. Our saving grace for 6 wins may be the weak conference schedule we were given. Beat Rice, FAU, Tulsa, and Temple. I think some of those games are going to be a lot more difficult than we think. Just tuning in, but in order for the change, they need elements. He can run. He has a good arm. Plus, there's not a lot of tape on him as well. By the way, shout out to Brandon High for that 66-yard run. Yep. Let's see. The problem is we want to keep Barnes for what he did in the past. Henry at RB1 and High at RB2. Honestly, I would say High at RB1, to be real. I'm not even trying to be funny. But yeah. Darian, do you usually tailgate at the home games? Whenever I do get into town to go to the home games, I definitely tailgate. I met a lot of people in this chat last time. I'll be at the FAU game. So yeah, I hope to see you there. We're not an air raid offense. Can't throw 50 times and expect to win. Establish the run with High and Henry. They seem shifty and speedy enough. Barnes is good for those third and short runs. Okay. Um, it's Rab says he wants the transfer quarterback. The other two cannot develop behind this O line. I don't think anybody can develop. I can't say that because I don't think I think I'd be curious if you go back and watch the game. I'd ask you to go back and just watch and evaluate the O line play. I don't think they were as terrible as you're making them seem to be. 5 games were on. It's time, bro. Make the change. Yeah, I believe I'm with you. All right, guys, I'm wrapping up there. I went about 15 minutes extra today because we had a ton of comments. Appreciate everybody and their participation. I'll be back midweek to preview. Well, it'll be a little different because we have the bye week, but I'll still do a show on Wednesday to sort of talk about all of this. So anyway, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll speak later in the week. Peace.